Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. I'm going to be giving you a pretty thorough overview of the case here. It is a tragedy. There's a link in the description. The information that we have at this point in time is pretty flimsy. The police have asked for there to be no speculation. However, I'm probably going to speculate to some degree. So it's in regards to the death of a 2-year-old girl, Louise Chappell, perhaps Maya. I'm going to say Louise Chappell. There she is. What an absolute sweetheart. So I'm going to start off by reading part of the article. A toddler has tragically died after being fatally injured in an incident earlier this week. 2-year-old Maya Louise Chappell was airlifted to hospital in Newcastle, England, in a critical condition after emergency services were called to her home, Shotton Colliery, County Durham, on Wednesday. So this happened on Wednesday. The article is describing the attack as being an incident which is currently under investigation. A man in his 20s was arrested at the scene on suspicion of assault with intent to cause serious harm. So we don't know who that man in the 20s is. The article doesn't tell us. It merely says police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the incident, and police have said that a man in his 20s was arrested at the scene on suspicion of assault with intent to cause serious harm. So that tells me that there was an assault on 2-year-old Maya Louise Chappell, and that assault has led to her death. This is a picture of Maya's father, James, and he says the following, so I'll read this out. It breaks my heart to be writing this, but sadly my beautiful, brave little girl has gained her wings. She was too good for this world, and as a reward, she's going to play in the stars. I love you so much, Maya Louise Chappell. You are my life, my earth, and my idol, and I'll always look up to you and love you with all of my heart. Rest in peace, baby girl. So, of course, full condolences to the family concerned. So the article again says that a man in their 20s was arrested. I'm going to say this, forgive me. The article doesn't mention if that is the father. I guess that's a possibility. My interpretation is that it's not the father. The article merely says a man in his 20s. We don't know the relationship between this man and the victim, Maya Louise Chappell. So they were arrested, but they've been released. I don't understand that. United Kingdom, what the heck is going on with you guys? Perhaps there was a good reason to arrest that man. Perhaps there was some level of suspicion. And perhaps there's a good reason for releasing that man. But to me, that just seems like a reckless thing to do. The investigation is underway. Forensic investigation teams have returned to the scene for a second day. The mid-terraced house is being treated as a crime scene. So the family home is a crime scene. Forensic teams are still doing their work. They're still doing their investigation. Yet they released the man that they had arrested. I'm shaking my head. That really disturbs me. There's the father and young Maya Louise Chappell, 2 years of age. Her life taken away from her. That's all the information that we have at this point in time. So it is an absolute tragedy. Again, my interpretation is that the father is not the man that was arrested. That's my interpretation. However, the article doesn't categorically state that. It merely says that a man in their 20s was arrested and subsequently released. which again, I'm repeating myself, but that disturbs me. The investigation is still underway. They seemingly had cause to suspect the man that they arrested for being responsible for the assault on Mayor Louise Chappell. The assault presumably resulted in the death of this 2-year-old baby girl. Why have they released this 20-year-old man? Just keep the man in jail, in custody, in prison, until the investigation progresses. You know, sure, that could be arguably an infringement of that person's rights. Sure, I get that. But this is a murder trial. This is a murder case. I'll correct myself. There's no actual description of murder within this article. However, if indeed Maya did die due to the assault, then, you know, presumably that's going to mean it's a murder case. Sure, it's early days, but if you catch somebody, you don't release them. What is wrong with the United Kingdom Police Force? There's something seriously wrong with it. I'm going to wrap things up at this point. Of course, full condolences. I don't mean to throw any shade on the father. Full condolences to the father. He's lost his baby girl. It's an absolute tragedy. I'm just merely mentioning that the article says a man in their 20s has been arrested and since released. And the article doesn't categorically state that that man isn't the father. So I just have to mention that. But in any case, full condolences to the family. It's an absolute tragedy. I hope the investigation goes ahead. And I hope the authorities arrest their prime suspect and keep the prime suspect detained. Allow the authorities some opportunity to process the evidence, to build a case. You know, don't just let somebody go who might well be the murderer. I mean, that just makes no sense whatsoever. So I'm just going to wrap things up at this point. If you appreciate the coverage, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit, and take care.